Something More Than Free by Jason Isbell is going to be played in standard tuning and comes out of G-shaped chords. The intro, and really all the chords are pretty standard, and with exception to maybe a lick or two, it should be a pretty easy song for beginners here. The intro is just jumps right into the lyrics, and it's over a G chord. Jason has got his second finger on the 6th string 3rd fret, first finger on the 5th string 2nd fret, open 4, open 3, ring finger on the 2nd string 3rd fret, pinky finger on the 1st string 3rd fret, and your ring and pinky are anchors throughout a lot of these chords, like the G, the E minor, and most of the C's. So your ring and pinky stay planted there through most chords. So G. Also the strumming pattern, let me go ahead and address this. The strumming pattern is very sparse. The idea of it is based around 16th notes, like if you can think just going down, up, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. But the rhythm is not just doing that the whole time. In fact, it does that none at all. It's sporadically hitting those 16th notes in a much more sparse feel to where it would be like pieces of what, if we were filling everything else in, would just be, but it's coming together. Something more like that. So a G chord to a C chord. For this next chord, you're going to leave your ring and pinky where they're at, and then you're going to move your move your second finger to the 5th string 3rd fret. And then as you're striking across those strings, hammer on with your first finger to the 4th string 2nd fret. And then you'll also pull it back off. And then go back to the G chord. And then it walks down from the G to an E minor by going G, and then first finger to the 6th string 2nd fret, and then first finger to the 5th string 2nd fret, opening up the 6th string, leaving your ring and pinky where they've been. Your first finger is going to kind of mute out the 4th string, but then 3rd string will remain open. So G, intro / verse to the C, to the G, walk down to the E minor, then it comes back up to the C, same hammer on into the C, and then to the G. After the first round, it does a little lick leading into the next downbeat of the G. The way that lick is played is you're going to hit an open 4th string, hammer on with your first finger to, and this is still inside of a G-shaped chord, but hit the open 4th string, hammer on with your first finger to the 4th string 2nd fret, and then behind that hit the open 3 string, the open G string, and then back into the G chord. And then that verse repeats back to the C, back down to the G, walk down to the E minor, to the C, to the G. And then here we get the pre-chorus is going to be a D major chord. First finger goes to the 3rd string 2nd fret, ring finger staying on the 2nd string 3rd fret, and now 2nd finger being pulled back to the 1st string 2nd fret. Inside of this D chord, a lot of times Jason seems to pull off his first finger from the 3rd string 2nd fret to expose the open 3rd string, and sometimes hammers it back down. But so that's the beginning here of the pre-chorus. D to a C chord, same C chord as before, on down in the G chord, back up to the D chord, and then here at the end of the pre-chorus it goes to an A minor. So the A minor, you'll have an open 5th string, you'll have your second finger on the 4th string 2nd fret, ring finger on the 3rd string 2nd fret, first finger on the 2nd string 1st fret, inside of the A minor, strumming from the 5th string down to an open 1 string. You can hear Jason Isbell sometimes lift up his first finger, exposing the open 2nd string, and then hammering back down, first finger to 2nd string 1st fret. And then it goes into the chorus. The chorus is going to be an E minor to a D and to a C. Will be the first round of it. So this E minor of the chorus will be just a full-throated E minor, not this kind of E minor inside of a G chord that we were doing earlier. Here, do a full E minor. So open 6th string, 2nd finger on the 5th string 2nd fret, ring finger on the 4th string 2nd fret, and then strings 3, 2, and 1 open. You'll go E minor, back up to the standard D chord, and then into this C chord from the verse, which is a C add 9, I guess. But now in the chorus, what it does is after strumming across the C, you'll lift up your ring finger and expose the open second string, and still leaving your pinky finger where it is. And then that repeats E minor, D, and then moving again to the C. But the second time through the chorus, instead of just moving directly to the C, there's a little lick. The way that that's going to be is out of the D chord, hit the open 4 and the fretted 3 string of the D chord, so first finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. And then on your up pick there, you'll lift up your first finger and expose the open 3rd string. And then you'll go with your pinky finger to the 4th string, 3rd fret. Strike down there and then back up across the open 3rd and 4th strings now. And then you'll go down with your first finger to the 4th string, 2nd fret. Strike that down and then open up the 4th string and then go into the C chord. So that is coming together like this. And then you'll lift up your ring finger again to expose the open 2nd string. Now sometimes Jason seems to play that lick differently from time to time. Sometimes he will hammer on to the 4th string, 2nd fret, and then hammer into the C. So instead of the way I showed it the first time, which was this, it would instead be, so small difference, but that does seem to be a bit of nuance to how sometimes he plays that little lick differently. But either way works. Then back to the E minor, D, C, open the 2nd string, back to E minor, D, and then lick. And then after the first chorus, I think it really just kind of goes back to a G chord and drones on a G chord and maybe a C over G, where he hammers into a C-shaped position inside of the G chord. So ring finger in the G is on the 6th string, 3rd fret, pinky fingers on the 1st string, 3rd fret, and then hammer on with your 2nd finger to the 4th string, 2nd fret, and 1st finger to the 2nd string, 1st fret, making a C inside of our G, and then pulling off back into the G before it returns to another verse. Whenever we get to the bridge is going to be just 2 chords, a D and a C. The way that we're going to make the D is basically a C shape, like if you make a 4-fingered C chord and just pull it up 2 frets. So my ring finger is on the 6th string, 5 fret, pinky finger on the 5th string, 5 fret, 2nd finger on the 4th string, 4 fret, open 3 string, 1st finger on the 2 string, 3 fret, open 1 string. So that's the D chord of the bridge, and then slide this down 2 frets, and you've got a C chord, and then you pull it back up 2 frets for D chord, and then C chord. Sometimes Jason is strumming this, kind of with the sparse strumming pattern from before. Sometimes he's just straight, in the latter half of the bridge, he seems to just be straight down picking, like letting the band build on this behind him before it goes back into one last chorus. So those are the chords and movements to Something More Than Free by Jason Isbell. Hopefully this gives you an idea of how to approach the song.